Make a U-turn. In 1,000 feet, slide left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Now, here are the other sides of the doors. The doors, the parts that you'd see, as well as the trunk lid, and I just finished the hood in there. These require a second coating. You can see in some cases where I was aggressive in some of the mechanical removal of things. That's going to be easy to fix. And like I've said before, you'll see where some parts of the paint, the priming, were not good. So on all the pieces that you can see, I'm doing a double coat before I paint it. And it being about 90 degrees today, putting them in the sun will dry them out pretty quick. So I'm going to move the hood into the sun and let that dry. You'll notice that it's going to take a lot of work. there. Oh, where was it? Toward the back, I think. So, excuse me. Honestly, not a lot of work on this, except for a few dents. But oh, god damn! I just painted it, primed it, so I've got some work to do. I'm going to move this into the sun and get back to the doors for their second coat. And there we go. That is 2 very full coats on everything that is outboard facing. You might be able to see it, or maybe it's just the sun. But look at the trunk lid. You'll see what looks like a checkerboard pattern in the paint, which is good because when you paint, you want to go exactly that, so that you've got the best overlap when it comes time to the final decision, the final paint, right? So obviously, that sucker needs some work. That puppy needs some work. In fact, everything needs a little bit of work. Got some a big dent in there. I made no attempt at popping that out yet. A couple of minor dents there. You saw those when I was making videos on stripping these things. That's that. So what's going to happen next, after I do those fenders, I should at some point, I'll get to the doors of course, but I'll do the filling and all that other stuff one at a time. I'll work one panel at a time and let her go. Probably store it inside. Did a whole lot of rewiring to that puppy yesterday, and like a little dream Swiss watch again. So here's what we have next, and I'll just get right to it and get her going. Okay, you've already seen this. I've already done some scrub-a-dub-dub to it. I need to do some close inspection for necessary repairs. Looking at it before, didn't seem like you needed it, to be honest. Maybe a repair there, fill in that hole, make sure that's good to go. And I want to show you on this one, as a reminder, this piece here, center of the screen, will go to here. This one, I'm gonna think out loud here. You can see that these are just pass-through holes, right? Via these pass-through holes, you tighten this piece down to the body. You can see that none of these, have bolts behind them. So I've got to figure out a way to put captive nuts in there somehow. So let's pause there and looky here. So this piece is missing. So I will need to fabricate something. That won't be difficult. So it's got the same characteristics as that. I may actually try my hand at forming the first time. Maybe I have to do some research first or something. But you can see this entire piece is missing there. Completely missing. Huh. Anyway, so that'll need some captive nuts as well. I'll get onto McMaster Cars, see what they've got. Yeah, so I'll start off with this one here. I've already scrubbed it down, as you saw in a prior video. I'm going to take some time to maybe sand down some of these prouder points and do some repairs over there, etc. Ideally, by the end of today or the end of tomorrow, I'll have this ready for prime or primed. I'm running out of primer, actually, which is a nice thing. You can legitimately say that it takes a gallon and more to prime one of these things. The more being after I'm all done, I'm going to reprime, right? Or at least reprime the areas that have gone through to bare metal or bare filler. So, yep. So some research on how to do this. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this started then. I have a couple of options in mirroring that form. One is, goddamn, excuse me, too many hard ciders, got hiccups. And I can't get my thoughts going. With this stuff here, you can slather it in what amounts to paste car wax, right? Fiberglass resin doesn't stick to it. And I just lathered this thing up with a whole bunch of fiberglass plus matte and let it harden, and then I do the top and do the same thing, and Bob's your uncle. Real easy, right? I'm not going to do that. I am instead going to make a piece that is this long but longer, and then I will make a form, make a mold, or using cardboard basically. I'll cut that shape out. Okay, now if you own a boat, by the way is an acronym. It stands for Breakout Another 1,000. If you own a boat, you'll recognize this stuff. This stuff is what's used to make boats. It's pretty gosh darn thick, and all I'm going to do is add some of that puppy to some hardener, and then add one layer at a time between these two green marks here. Once that's cured, and this stuff cures quick, I will transfer the shape to. I'll cut up the shape and get it going. Right now, take a look. I've got what do we call it? Tin foil here, and if this fiberglass sticks to the tin foil, which would be surprising, I don't really care because it's on a cookie sheet anyway, and I can peel this stuff off pretty quickly and very easily. I'm not looking for perfection or glassy smooth. I'm looking for... Okay, here we go. I have just finished mixing that crap. Put that there. Now, typical wisdom is put your piece on there and then get it wet, or get it, get it going. I like to do both ends. And doing it sparingly is not in your interest. And I work against time because this stuff will set pretty quickly. Okay. And then, upon that, now, you can tell that it's already soaked through. You definitely want to wear gloves because this stuff gets everywhere and it doesn't come off very easily. Okay, so next point, slathered on, and again, don't do it sparingly. You can see that I'm dabbing at this stuff. You want to get all the air pockets out and get this mat as soaked as you can with fiberglass. Didn't mix enough. That's all right. Some more conventional wisdom. They say don't use these one-off cups or sippy cups or whatever they're called. I used beer steins going through college, so I didn't use these things. Not to mix your fiberglass up in these things, because the fiberglass will eat the plastic. I can confirm that, but I don't care. Because if it eats the plastic, it doesn't bother me. I've got a gazillion of these dang sippy cups, or one-off cups, or whatever they're called. Okay, so again, you can see that I've gotten this one piece nice and soaked with fiberglass. I've cut out two of these things, and we'll put one atop the other, just like so. Oh yeah, and you can see it's soaked through already. This is going to be a good piece. And then once it's dry and cured, I'll use my Dremel to cut it. I need to mix up more of this crap. Now you'll see a lot of water on the floor there. When I sand fiberglass, I always use water, because I don't want this crap going airborne, getting into my lungs. And I wear face masks and shit like that anyway, so yeah, just a bottle of water and for some hand work. The rest this I did with the palm sander. Okay, now you'll see some areas that need to be filled. There's one of them. Definitely that one where I chewed through. I'm going to fill in that because I don't want an antenna that's visible. I'll do one of those invisible ones. And you'll see some discoloration between here and here. See that long line that goes there? At one point there was tape on there, and I have ground all that down to discoloration, but I may just ground it down all the way more. I see crack in the paint. That's a crack in the clear coat. That's not too bad. Maybe you can see that. So I'll grind that down. Got this one here. That is very common for fiberglass. I will grind that down. You can see some crap I just didn't wipe off. So this one, except for that piece that I'm in the middle of fabricating, is in really good condition. Let's take a look throughout here. Let's go on the other side. Take a look throughout there. Okay, so like we did with the rear fenders, we're looking for cracks, right? And if a crack radiates, then it just keeps on going. So far, so good. No crack there. No crack there either. Huh. I do see... This goes all the way through, I think, or is wet, so I'll put this in the sun, let it dry out. No cracks. This is a very good piece, except for that one piece that's missing. I am, like I say, going to sit this in the sun and let it dry out completely while I use the other one as a pattern for the piece I've got to make. Okay, so more on that in a second. Here. Okay, so I'm going to use that that long piece of cardboard. I need to add a little bit to it so that I can cut out this piece here, right? To include the correct curve and a little bit extra, because the other piece has been taken down just a skosh. This isn't tough. I've been working on this now for about 50. All right, well, there we go. I have obviously used my piece to do a shape, and let's see how well I did with my tinfoil. Oh, yeah! Cookie sheet. I can make cookies on it now. Maybe not. Alright. So, we did mention... what did we mention? We mentioned the thing that turns fast. The Dremel. There you go. I'll cut that out, and upon this piece here, I will make a 1-inch lip. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. This turned out pretty goddamn good. Hang on a sec. One sec. That's been cut off. I didn't use my Dremel because this is good thick shit now. I used my that thing. And so let's see how easily this stuff comes off. Comes off very nicely. Very nicely indeed. Nope, there goes my compressor. So this is thicker than it really needs to be. Jesus Christ. Figures. Okay, so I'm doing this in a bit. I'm doing this in bits. In pieces, and you can see that the first one is here, right? That lip, I'll go over here. That lip here is roughly an inch wide. Well, roughly it is an inch. Okay, so you can see here I have a little bit of overlap within there and more over there. And I'm gonna just get to it. I'm gonna do 2 levels. Layers. 2 layers, and drink more of my apple cider, and I'll be done here probably in the next time period. Well, okay, so I just picked up my sippy cup to put the next layer of stuff on, and it's almost, well, it's too much for me to touch. It's so hot. Let's see how hot it is. (185 degrees, 187. Okay, so that's the exothermic reaction of, oh shit, what's that stuff called? It's not that stuff. It's other stuff. That stuff. So holy cow. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, just because I figured you'd find interest in that as much as I did. Say it with me. This is ugly as fuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. Lipstick on a pig is what is needed now, and some curing time, and then some shaping time. This is the back of it. I don't want to move it because shit's still curing, but once it's all done and it looks like it's supposed to, it will look like it's supposed to. So I am going to pack it in for the night, and I'm going to finish this off tomorrow. Okay, well, it's raining like a mofo outside, and I'm finished with this. Today's Monday, Memorial Day. It's a lot thicker than what I would have wanted, but yeah, it's okay. As they say, thicker's better. You can see here, move this out of the way. You can see here how the silhouette is the same. I may do a little bit of shaving in this area here, but not by much. Slopes down the same. Good to go. The bolt holes are the same. On and on and on. All this is fiberglass and no welding. I could have welded this, I guess. Anyway, let's see how it works over here. Okay, so I'm already figured out a way to put this. Okay, it's a little bit askew, askance, but there it is. I do believe I have a little bit of shaving down here to do because this should not be above that. The rest of it looks okay though. I'm not displeased. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll get this going here in a second, and I'll show you how I plan on putting it all together. Okay, well, I have finished the other fender, and I'm working on the one that's already good, right? I've got a few things I gotta fix, but yeah, that right there, that's easy. You see the star pattern of the paint that kind of cracked. Wow, paint that kind of cracked, and you can see where it started. This area right here. This cracked through here, started to kind of craze and wow and flex, and that's what you get. Okay, that's one of the first things I look for when I'm looking for effed up fiberglass. The rest of it is in really good condition. I've taken my sander to it. I've wet sanded all this crap, and as you can see, I've got a couple of different colors. I need to let this dry a little bit before I go to bed tonight. I'm going to spray this thing, and this is done. Pretty handy and pretty happy, rather, with how it looks, and I'm very happy with the fact that the measurements on this compared to that are the same thing. I'm talking distance, height, the whole 9 yards, so not bad. Not bad. And, oh, yeah, the sucker is going nowhere. Cool. That means, so I've already done the work to this one. I've already sanded it down and so forth. That means that I can take this also to the paint booth, which is right there. That's the paint booth. And get this done today as well. So, off we go. Finished. And in my haste to get this thing done quickly, I skipped some stuff. I missed it. That's not a big deal, because I will just respray it sometime soon. I have some corrections and other things I've got to do to it, to include that. So that bespeaks something beneath the surface. I'll just scrape that off and redo it in a pattern of about that big around. There's probably some oil or God knows whatever in there, but it's still tacky. This one was better. Yeah, I got the other spots there. You will note that I have not closed up the holes here. I want to say those are for the rearview mirrors, so I may leave those in after I do some research. And I oversprayed. I put too much on. You can see where it looks a little wrinkly. That means I had too close to the surface there, so my own stupid fault. And some areas that are, what would you say, uneven. So this stuff here and that there, I've got some uneven parts that will sand down. These things here, I'm going to sand by hand. Actually, much of what I'll do from now on will be sanded by hand, just because I have a better feel for what I'm doing, and I don't want to necessarily use a machine to do some delicate sanding, right? So first coat is done. You'll notice that I've not done the interiors because I am no shit out of primer. That's kind of surprising to me, actually.